Jasmine's shadow. Jasmine, I really hope you'll be okay. She seems to be searching for a file. Looks like she's reading a file from the shelf. I'll take a look at the shelf. This is the shelf Jasmine was checking, but there are way too many materials to go through. There's no time to read everything, if only there was some way to narrow them down. Look at Jasmine again. Talk to the, librarian, probably. Oh, are we gonna solve the riddle right here, right now? I like that was one of our, like, choices. Please talk to yourself some more. Missing box. I think there's a box missing from shelf D99. Do you happen to know what was in it? D99 might be a file that was destroyed. There's no way for me to look it up. Seriously? Related materials might be in E04, though I'm not sure how helpful they will be. Shelf E04, thank you. Guess I'll be talking to myself quite a bit today. Okay. You don't know what was burnt in that box, but you know that related materials are in 04? E04, related materials. But I don't even know what kind of related materials. Wait, these materials look a bit crumpled. Maybe this? Matsuda. Matsuda? Ryoru Matsuda interrogated as a suspect. Is that Matsuda-san from the Netherworld tour, or just someone with the same name? Which one was Matsuda? Was that the big guy? A colleague of the victim, Nomura. Yeah, okay. Matsuda had a motive for committing murder. Upon interrogation, an alibi was established, an incident where Matsuda-san's colleague was killed. Could it be the Ueno Tenshu incident? Investigation ended by decision of Deputy Inspector General Kurosawa. Sent to the closet, huh? Deputy Inspector General Kurosawa, Kurosawa-san's father? First, let's show Tamiri-san this document. So it was a cover-up and Matsuda did do it. I was right all along. He just got his tattoo removed. Or the tattoo was fake info. It could, like, okay. So if these incidents are being covered up by Kurosawa, they could also easily just put a detail of like, oh, the suspect was of an ethnicity, ethnic subject, you gotta go off the trail on that one. Something crazy like that. Visualizing traces, what an impressive power you have. Obviously the tattoo is a real thing, but in shelf E04. About the documents stored in shelf E4, there are documents saying that Matsuda-san from the Netherworld tour was a suspect. Ms. Tomarigi sent me reports on the tour about Matsuda. Matsuda was Kingo Nomura's colleague, it seems. Yes, the documents mention that Matsuda-san had an alibi. Ms. Azami, did you read all this? No, I just wanted to tell you about it. What did it say? What did it say? There are records of items that were popular during the Ueno Tenshu incident, the Tenshu t-shirt. I heard about that on the tour. They put images of the victim, Nomura-san, on the shirts. They put images of the victim? I thought it was just a note. So tasteless. Also, a prophetic card. Prophetic card? You mean Illumina cards? Prophecy of death. How could there be an Illumina card if that was 7 years ago? Not an Illumina card, it just seems to be a card with a prophecy on it. Is that the Genesis one? Seems like this card predicted Kisaragi's death. Don't know who did this, but it's pretty disturbing to me. Come to think of it, I feel like the director mentioned looking into something like this. I really didn't expect Nomura-san's case to be in the closet, though. For the police, this case might not have been only about the Nomura siblings. What do you mean? The investigation was terminated by the Deputy Inspector General. That's Director Kurosawa. So it was Kurosawa-san's father. So he stopped the investigation because it would look bad for them if it was solved? The case wasn't just stopped. He hid the fact that it'd been terminated and wiped everything from existence. Why would he do such a thing? I wonder if it has to do with what happened to Kisaragi. Because was he taken into custody when he killed himself? Like, he did that like an Epstein thing? Or did he kill himself because he was being grilled? Again, cover up, so it might not have been him, but, you know. Something. What is the Genesis cards? Okay, I need to think about the Genesis cards. While looking into the documents here in the closet, I found mention of Matsuda-san. There was information about 7 years ago about things like the Tenshu t-shirt. Also mentions of a card rumored to have predicted Tsutomu Kisaragi's suicide. It seems like the rumor that the director saw on the same Zima site were true. So the Genesis card that Jasmine mentioned is... maybe it's a prophetic card related to the... friendship with Dr. Kisaragi. Incident involving Nomura-san. Good. I'm getting better at those. It's been... how many parts now? Maybe it's a prophetic card related to the incident involving Nomura-san? Yes, that makes sense. A prophetic card mentioned in the documents, along with the Tenshu t-shirts. All these incidences that happened after Nomura-san's death. The Genesis card's prophecy may be affecting the Illumina cards and the Zimmer's actions. Okay, let's think about the answer to the riddle next. Oh, we're just moving right on. If the Illumina cards were made based on the Genesis cards, does that mean the admin is causing an incident based on a prophecy from 7 years ago? Incidents in a prophetic card from that time, if they lead to the riddle's answer, what does not exist even if you speak of it? I don't know if I'm ready for this. Maybe it's the... what does not exist even if you speak of it, right? Where is it? Oh, yeah, right there. It's right there. It's the first freaking thing. What does not exist even if you speak of it? Huh. Sorry, I am thinking. It wouldn't be that. Same Jima incident where blank blank. I want to say internet users giving birth to a conspiracy meme. I mean, is that what this is? I guess. Because, so... if the Natasha Singh thing is just a urban myth. So, I guess it would be, maybe it's that, where... not users. A mysterious hacker gave birth to a conspiracy meme. Nope, not it. I'm dead wrong. That doesn't feel right. What does not exist, even if you speak of it? This place, the closet, it's a storage place for purposefully unresolved cases. I've noted down the info I gathered here. It's in the journal. Let's recheck the journal and think this over. Alright, yeah, none of that. Natasha thing was kind of just out there. Wasn't even... well, this might just mean it's in the wrong spot, but... maybe I should look at this, actually, because I'm not really confident, but... what we read in the closet, right? Tools on cases determined to be unresolved and that should not be investigated further. No solved cases are compiled. Cases here are considered to have never happened, right? Do I have options that would make me be able to say that? Called off investigation. I guess that, right? So it would just be, I mean, yeah, I guess, like, this is obvious, but I don't know how this relates to the riddle is the problem with that. The thing with the, Natasha Singh thing is I was just trying to think way too far ahead. Maybe it's the Ueno Tenchu incident where Kurosawa would call off the investigation? But, like, if, you know, if that's the case, why do we really have to think about that? We already have that, like, Jasmine was kind of looking into that. So many people knew and were talking about this case, they could speak of it. But not only was the case not solved, the investigation was terminated and hidden from existence. That's what does not exist, even if you speak of it. This must be the answer to the riddle. This one specifically, though? So, like, what? Is that the phrase? Tamuri-san, I think I know the answer to the riddle. The case where the Genesis card appeared. That was how everything began. But that case does not exist, even if you speak of it. But it does exist. Like, people speak about... Like, that's... not really the same thing, right? Like, yeah, it was swept under the rug and, like, stopped being investigated. But it still happened in a way that the public knows about it. For people who don't know about this place, they won't be able to get the riddle's answer no matter how they try. Really, though? Is that true? If we answer it, do you think we can stop this devastation and judgment? We have no way of knowing. All we can do is give it a try. I can use the computer that the director gave me. I'll just need the Wi-Fi down here. No internet connection. I'm surprised they actually brought that up. Nope, you can't. Not here. Haha, gotcha. Don't worry though. I talked to the librarian. We can connect from his desk. Really? I feel like that's a security risk. The page with the riddle on it. And here's where you enter the answer. Go on and type it in. The answer to the riddle is Ueno Tenchu incident. That is not enough characters. Congratulations! Correct answer. Thank you. This is... Yes, it's the right answer. Huh? So it doesn't stop the countdown. Was it gas mask all along? That would be pretty straightforward if it was just Gas Mask who did it, right? Tamuri-san. Tamuri-san, what do we do? Scroll down, there's something here. Yes, I'll read it aloud. Congratulations. What are you going to do when you get to me? I want to avenge Satomu Kisaragi. What do you want to do? Only I can ask myself that question. What does this mean? Avenge Kisaragi, and only I can ask myself. The latter sound tough to get. Let's start with the former. It seems easier to understand. I'm sorry, is there a place to enter an answer here? Reading it literally, seems like the admin's plan is to avenge Satomu Kisaragi. I think it's not them specifically, right? They're just saying a person. What are you gonna do when you get to me? I want to avenge Satomu Kisaragi. What do you want to do? Only I can ask myself that question. Reading it literally seems like the admin's plan is to avenge Satomu Kisaragi. The admin, who shouldn't know about the closet, speaks of avenging Kisaragi. So is the admin someone who's connected to the Ueno Tenchu incident? There might be documents here about people connected to the incident. I'll try to find some along with documents on Satomu Kisaragi. Yeah, we're in like the new zone, the new questions. Or about the documents. This is one of those days I talk to myself more than usual. Happens every now and then. How often, dude? However, I never saw you here, and anything I happen to say is just me talking to myself. Who are you talking to? Why would you say that? We already know. Calm down, dude. Do you get like new Jasmine ghosts? No Jasmine ghosts? Just this one? Some new ones. Like, should I... God. I guess I can just observe a lot. We're really hanging out in this room. Shelf 3, lots of boxes with files in them. Jasmine was checking this shelf. I think I can look over it quickly and find what I need. Nope, this isn't it. Where is it? Oh? Satomu Kisaragi, an assistant professor at Inugami University, was interrogated as a suspect in the Ueno Tenshu incident. This is it! Jasmine must have seen this! 1 month after the Ueno Tenshu incident, countless rumors have spread throughout the internet, pointing to Kisaragi as the culprit. Despite perfunctory interrogation, he had an alibi on the day. Security camera footage confirmed that he was at the restaurant with the victim's younger sister, Tomoko Nomura. Was he really taken as a suspect all because of online rumors? However, public opinion continued to weigh heavily upon Kisaragi. 3 months after the incident, Satomu Kisaragi committed suicide at his home. The world kept treating him like a criminal even though he had an alibi. The police didn't make any announcements about it. Guess the whole case was hidden by then. I mean, like, keep reading more. What's this? Kisaragi was looking into the incident on his own? Obtaining information from many people, including hypotheses about the culprit. Maybe there's still some information that can be used to identify the culprit. Storage location D99. No way, the information collected by Dr. Kisaragi was destroyed? I have to ask the librarian if there are any documents left. So, like, if they were destroyed, it would be a question of who could be down here, right? Obviously, then Kisaragi killed himself, quote-unquote, because he was looking into things. Just like Epstein. Observe! No, well, Epstein was gonna, like, give out information, right? And then he just happened to slip into a suicide. This shadow is definitely Jasmine. What's she doing? She's just here. Being Jasmine. Observe. Jasmine's shadow. Jasmine, I really hope you'll be okay. Yeah, nothing special from Jasmine, apparently. Shelfie 2, all the documents here are about no-solved cases. No way. There's too many. The admin could be someone involved in the incident. Only those who were involved can know all the details. Satomu Kisaragi wasn't the culprit. Jasmine's traces leads me to the information about Satomu Kisaragi. Dr. Kisaragi was considering a suspect all because of online rumors. Considered a suspect because of online rumors. How pathetic. The police just went along with internet opinions. Seems that Dr. Kisaragi had an alibi and was cooperating with the investigation. With Director Kurosawa in the investigation. Dr. Kisaraga seems to have been looking into the Tenchu incident on his own. But all of those documents were destroyed. What was the company that Matsuda and the person that was killed work with? Because my assumption would be that, like, Kurosawa did it, and that's why his dad covered it up. I mean, there has to be a reason why Kurosawa's in the people's log, right? I mean, also, Dr. called off investigation on the Tenchu incident. Why did he make such a decision to protect someone, but that puts the blame on someone else? I mean, obviously, puts the blame on this guy. I just don't know if specifically Director Kurosawa can go to the closet, or if he was just able to get people to put stuff in the closet. I would assume he probably is allowed. He is, like, a high-rank official, right? I guess the question would be whose same Zima is. I don't think it would have been the sister because of the other plan that happened. But I also did think that Gas Mask might have been working with her. I think out of anyone, Gas Mask is who I would think if it's only related to that case, but it might not be. And I mean, that's also kind of my thing of thinking that the tunnel is still important, and that's probably the, like, actual same Zima base. You don't need to answer me, but please do keep talking to yourself. Documents on Satomu Kisaragi. Mr. Librarian, do you know where I can find documents on Satomu Kisaragi? Were the documents in shelf D99 all thrown away? Discarded materials cannot be recovered. But is there nothing we can do? When disposing of them, I had some trouble. I organized the documents based on contents and names, so to decide what shelves they go in. We're not playing around here. If they're not returned to the right shelf. Anyhow, I have no knowledge of you coming here, checking documents or moving anything. Maybe the librarian has given me some kind of hint? Did Jasmine move the documents to a different shelf? Let's take another look at Jasmine's shadow. So, were these burned after the fact? That's kind of a big information that I feel like wasn't made clear. Like, I thought these were just already gone for a while, and like Jasmine came over here, they weren't here, so she went to find something else. But if they were like burned because someone was covering up after Jasmine was already here, that does change a lot. Looking more closely, this shadow is sticking something in this space. Maybe she's moving something to another shelf? Also, I don't know, like, how easy it is it for someone to come here and dispose of this stuff? I guess easy enough for, like, a police director. Something placed here. What did you place there, Jasmine? Huh? What? No way. Documents on Satomu Kisaragi? Since they might all get destroyed if left in one place. Maybe Jasmine was trying to scatter them around. Jasmine, I'm gonna read it right now. Kisaragi wrote down the results of his investigation on paper. We'll try to retrieve it from the research lab where he works. Try to retrieve? What? Try to just take it from him? Due to resistance from the uni professors, retrieval was impeded, impossible to proceed further. How is it impossible to proceed further? Related information on the internet has been partially deleted. Huh? What is this? Maybe it's a record of how the incident was covered up? Why go this far? Journal update. So it also says tried to get information, so that might mean that there's something hidden in his lab, right? Let's stop and think for a moment. Where the documents went, the Genesis card prophecy. Seems like Satomu Kisaragi was looking into the Ueno Tenshu incident on his own. The actual documents have already been destroyed. In order to uncover the admin's identity, I have to find those documents. If it's not here in the closet, where should I look next? Maybe it's in... Smeared the blame on someone. The research lab at Inugami University, where the restaurant used to work. We're going to where Azami goes to class, right? Maybe it's in the research lab at Inugami University where Satomu Kisaragi used to work. Right, the professor at Inuguma University didn't let them take Satomu Kisaragi's documents. Inugami. I said that weird. If you can't tell, a little congested, having a hard time of it, so I apologize. Not a great time to play a game where you read a lot, but don't really have anything else going on, so they might still be at their research lab. Which is the research lab at my uni? What are the chances? Anyway, let's tell Tomiri-san. That power of yours is really incredible. Maybe. Tomiri-san, maybe the research lab at my uni. The research lab at Inugami University might still have case files on the incident. Well thought. However, it's been so long now, I'm sure everything's been wiped from there as well. But it seems like uni professors at the time kept the documents safe. Also, I might be able to find something with my clairvoyance. Were there any police officers who had that power? I guess that's more accusatory, like they couldn't find it because they didn't have it. Were there any police officers who had that power? That's what I thought, Tamiri. There were not. Then we have to go there. If there's no other way, we have to do it. My power. So the police really covered up the Ueno Tenshu incident. At the time, Deputy Inspector General Kurosawa wanted to hide the incident for some reason. From the answer to the riddle, this seems directly related to the admin's purpose and motives. I kind of also figured that they wouldn't actually just leave that case unsolved. Like, I thought it was neat at the time of like, oh, I guess sometimes things just don't get solved because they're not that easy to solve. But like, also, this is a story. Like, of course it's gonna come back up. But I was also really focused on the tunnel, so who knows. Maybe the culprit of the Tenshu incident is written somewhere in Dr. Kisaragi's documents. And there's info that will lead to the admin? For now, all we can do is hope. I'll drive! Come with me! I don't know, that face seems really aggressive. Yes! He's getting really into it. Only have 6 hours. Please don't tell me we're going online again to socials. Someone has answered the riddle. Excellent. To the person who knows what doesn't exist, I know that you will understand me. However, devastation and judgment is the promised future. Let us anticipate the moment when the countdown reaches 0. That's like everyone that was kidnapped. In the company of our guests. 6 hours left. Until devastation and judgment. No way! Hostages! Hope they're not planning on a public execution. Execution? We have to figure out their location soon! We have to stop this! This announcement is really causing panic. We'll leave that to the pros, to the police. They're still searching. Yeah, but we also just learned that they have like an entire basement filled with cover-up stories, so I don't know how much I really trust them, Tamiri. Let's get to the bottom of who the admin is. This is something only we can do. And by we, you mean me, right? Yes. Also, I'm so sorry. The police are the ones who caused this incident. Yeah, he thought about it. He's like, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't say that I trust the police here. So if Director Kurosawa hadn't stopped the investigation, if the truth had come to light, none of this would have happened. Then we wouldn't have gotten you into this mess. I don't see this as you getting me into it. I was definitely surprised about that closet. But you and Jasmine are both doing everything you can to find out the truth. There are lots of different people in different places. Not everyone is the same. This is what I like about you. You're not mad at me. I like that about you. Haha, thank you. Hard to tell from that expression, but it's a compliment, I think. I mean, I do think, broadly speaking, it is kind of true. It almost looks like we're just back at the director's office. Oh, wow! Dr. Kisaragi's research lab, it's all still here. The professors protected the case files, treating them as research materials he left behind. If the research lab is still here after all this time, they must have really cared about him. This Satomu Kisaragi seems like a completely different person from the one talked about online. That's true, they really took care of the things he left behind. By the way, since this is your school, we also had, that Kurosawa had a picture with him too. Let's not forget that connection. We'll make sure nobody finds out that you were here with me. I'm not worried about that at all. We should get down to investigating this research lab, Dr. Kisaragi's documents, and info about the admin. I'll find him and figure out the location. Oh, so many things to look at. Where are we? Not that. Case notes? Okay, we have like maybe one. Natasha just looks like a Netflix symbol. We have like one more spot, it looks like. I like how the, I didn't notice before with this one, but I like how it shows a question mark without actually showing us any information, like about what we're actually gonna find here. Alright, I guess we'll start from over here. Any ghosts? No ghosts. Observe! Oh no, so many books piled up here. None of this is organized. I have no idea where to start. They're not sorted by genre or organized so that the spines are visible. Guess Dr. Kisaragi isn't the type who does that. Take a look. It's in a book. A foreign book, like an art book. And here's a worn old notebook. Little Gray Studies 35 and random notes. 35 notebooks on Little Grays. Let's go! We're at 34 and 35. This is gonna be tough. Yo, Little Gray man, observe. So many books and notebooks here too. I wonder how many are in this whole room. There are a lot of books in the center too, but this place has piles of handwritten notebooks. Take a look. It's in a book. On Reading Rainbow. Is this a plant encyclopedia? Other pages. Whoa, demons? An illustration of a monster? What kind of book is this? What monster? I want to see it. It's Occult Great Reset. Right, he's the one who wrote this book. What's this? Secret project? Okay, just ignoring that? Can you elaborate? Azami, please! It says secret project. Read further. Sorry. Got a little heated. Yo, look at him T-posing. Got a little heated there. We don't have enough time. I'm sorry for making you do all of this. I want to look into this, don't worry. The current situation. Tamiri-san, what's the current situation? Bad. 6 hours until the time limit, and people are being held hostage. We don't know what the admin plans to do, but we must hurry if we want to rescue those hostages. We have to find their location as quickly as possible and stop the admin. Out Satomu Kisaragi. You know, there are tons of familiar-looking objects and books here. It's kind of like being in the center. Yeah, that's what I said. Me and you, Azami, except for the fact that you didn't want to look at Secret Project. Folklore and the occult have similar appeal. Maybe because both involve field research and gathering information? Tamiri-san, do you know anything about Dr. Kisaragi? I heard from an acquaintance who spoke with him before at work. Small talk turned into talk of birthplaces and the rumors around those locations. Though it seemed like their conversation might be about the occult, they actually ended up talking about local customs. Huh, maybe he was talking really fast from being so excited the whole time. He did seem like a bit of an eccentric enthusiast, but a likable person as well. I think for the most part it seemed like he was well-liked, right? Observe. Are these notebooks all handwritten by Dr. Kisaragi? It's unbelievable how many there are. Take a look. This one's handwritten as well. Report number 96 on interview with Kokiri practitioners. Interview note from 100 temple-born people and mountain mysteries from Sherpas. He did all these interviews and wrote them up. I kind of wish that we would get like a bunch of urban myth like notes. Like, you know, get a Yeti in there, some grays. Check the cover. Netherworld research book. Is this maybe from when he was researching the Wano Netherworld? Something's not right. The police won't return the materials I put together on Nomura-kun's case. I've got my eye on the person I think is the culprit, but if I name him and I'm wrong, I have to get down to the truth for Nomura-kun. What was, their relationship? I know that it was mentioned that, like, Nomura and Kisaragi had a, argument, but it probably was just a spout between friends, like a heated debate. I just don't remember what, like, Nomura did, like, their connection, I guess. Another document here related to the case. I should show this to Tamiri-san. Not gonna go look at more books. Also, T-pose. Piles of books and papers here, too. Trying to read through it would take years. Take a look, though. Ancient sleeping methods and religion and diet. A ghost story and ghost storytellers. Induction talk and non-occult books. Little Gray Studies 82. Internet rumors. So many different genres over here. What was the first table had like what 1 through 35, missing 34 and 33. Notebooks on internet rumors. This doesn't seem related, huh? It's about the rumors behind occult stories. In the past, they came from the shops where people gathered, but now they can be found all over the internet. They come from the shops where people gather. I guess just generally groups of people gather and talk about it, shops. I don't really know what that means, but you know, that's like way beyond my generation, so it makes sense. Was this the desk that Dr. Kisaragi used? It's surprisingly tidy. There's just a photo in a frame sitting here. Look at the framed photo. Is that the director? There's someone in the photo. Dr. Kisaragi when he was little? And there's another kid in the photo. How cute. Could this be some kind of clue? That looks like the director. So is the director behind it all along? I knew his wheelchair was fake.